Oldest ancestral marker next to Lake Titicaca. The Amazon Amarins immediately east to Lake Titicaca presents probably the oldest detectable ancestral marker on this planet, simply because it is recognized as the oldest human transposon or jumping gene, and is expected to be millions of years old. We of origin for existence expect these humans to have been exactly like us, but with less or no hybridizations or mutations, duplications, and deletions, being minimum 2 million years old, simply because there is evidence that Homo-erectus was hybridized departing from them, and Homo-erectus fossils are dated roughly 2 million years old. To simplify the relation with hybridization and origin of hybrids and hybrid humans, it helps to know that jumping genes increase the variability of our DNA and are favorable for involuntarily mutations, but also for deliberate hybridizations, and consequently for hybridizations and so-called domestications. While we at this moment have more evidence for Lake Titicaca and Peru to be a place of relevant hybridizations, there is also and quite similar archaeological and genetic evidence for this also to have happened in Colombia and in Ecuador. In Colombia we give further evidences for hybridizations related to places like San Agustin, Tierra Dentro, and Serranía de la Lindosa, in the Colombian Amazon. A. San Agustin in the state of Huila in South Colombia, presenting Viracocha etc. statues, similar to those in Peru, Japan, Gobekli-Tepe, Central America, Olmec, etc. B. Tierra Dentro, similar to Malta. Burial urns like Amazon Amerindians, similar to Gobekli-Tepe, Viracocha-like figures on the pillars like in Gobekli-Tepe and Peru. Tombs dug out of soft volcanic rock to place burial urns filled with bones. Segovia site, Tierra Dentro, Cauca, Colombia, South America, similar to the underground temple. C. Serranía de la Lindosa, in the Colombian Amazon. Indeed, scientists detect by means of duplications and deletions in our DNA that all humans are hybridized, and this million of years ago, just like all primates were hybridized millions of years ago. Evan-Eicher, 2023. All domesticated animals and plants are also hybrids, but what we can detect is more recent. Evan-Eicher, 2023. The spreading is confirmed by all ancestral markers that point to the Americas, while the oldest markers point to the Amazon forest. The Titicaca and Peru myths involving Viracocha also involve Amazon Amarins, just on the other side of the Andes, as the basis for future hybrids, because of stable origin DNA, to produce the better humans, supposedly to replace the now inconvenient giants and inconvenient humans. We of origin for existence consider Homo-erectus, Denisovan and Neanderthal as the giants. Ancestral markers point them out to South America, and we know they were kind of replaced and got extinct, just as megafauna and Clovis and Cro-Magnon got systematically replaced. With an important wave around the Younger Dryas, that supposedly started roughly 12,900 years ago. The hybrids are meant to mine and work for the elite humans, especially across the other continents, that also had colder climates. The elite humans were excellent navigators and ocean-worthy shipbuilders. While we did not detect ships in the myths, it is clear they were spreading across the Pacific Ocean, and such a thing is impossible without seaworthy ships, or without seaworthy rafts if you prefer. To spread and receive back precious resources also and quite advanced navigation is needed. There is a lot of archaeological evidence these ancients were advanced navigators, using stars and particularly constellations, and there was a lot of training and probably study or at least observations related to navigation on sea, but also on land. Most of this evidence is wiped out by time, but probably most of all by humans, on purpose, this to wipe out the past cultures, but also as a matter of recycling things for the needs of those that appear after the leaving and or demise of these above ancients. Since the site of Gobekli-Tepe and other sites in the same network were covered and located in an arid region, it escaped much of the erosion, destruction, and recycling. Further, there are a lot of similarities between the sites in Peru, Easter Island, and Gobekli-Tepe, and all these are located on the extended American Pacific Expansion Route, or Austronesian-Expansion Route. Malta has similarities as well, but is later and is related to American Atlantic Expansion Routes and or the North Atlantic Route. All these places present depictions of constellations that are related to navigation. Knowledge of these for navigation-relevant navigation is still present amongst indigenous people, and such knowledge is along many myths. Thor-Hyerdale was one in the former century famous example of someone who with his raft with the name of Tiki, Viracocha, Tiki, Makemake, and on the above described Pacific route from Peru in South America, navigated to Polynesia, West Oceania. Thor-Hyerdale learned about the name Tiki, the myth of the origin in the Americas, out of America, and the navigation from Polynesians while living or working in Polynesia. Later Thor-Heyerdahl, with the help of experienced Polynesians, navigated around the world in what he considered a traditional ancient ship, without a compass and without sextant. GPS did not exist at the time. Quite a lot of adventurous scientists repeated successfully this route, rowing or sailing after Thor-Hyerdal and in the same westward direction, but importantly in this context, this never was successful the other way around, in eastward direction. Every map with currents demonstrates that it is near impossible to navigate from Asia or even Polynesia to the Americas, this in tropical and subtropical regions with less wild waters. The further from the equator more distant currents do flow east, but are amongst the most feared routes of this planet, for a number of reasons, even today.